Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. We got my man, Jarrell, Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas, man. How you doing, my guy?
What's good, my brother? How you doing today, man? How's everything going up there?
Man, I was able to actually get out in these streets, man, and get out the house for the first time in 2.5 days. So big shout out to Dayton. They're getting the streets together, man, because it's so cold up here. You can't lay salt down, because it'll ice up at night. So I think they're doing a fabulous job. Huber Heights, where I live at, they have done a fabulous job. Dayton, the city workers, big shout out to Dayton city workers, man, for sure, for getting them roads together, man. How y'all doing down there, man?
We're doing all right. We thawing out, so everything's getting back to normal. I think we hit about 50 degrees today. So yeah, it's warming back up like I knew it would sooner than later.
Yeah, we supposed to be a little cold, probably for another about 4 or 5 days, and we get in the mid-30s to kind of get some of these roads and everything together. So right now, I'm just, like I said, I'm just really proud of those men and women that I can't even lie, they kind of sacrificed their life out there, man, because it's some frigid conditions out there, man, and they were out there getting us together, man. So we got my man Michael, the People Champion building. What's going on?
What's up, Mike?
I'm at the UD basketball game.
Looks like he's at a game.
What's going on, brother?
I said I'm at the UD basketball.
You taking it all in? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Let us know what's going on, man. We about to talk some NFL for a moment. Well, I couldn't hear you. Oh, he's so yeah, man. Mike is live at the UD game here. UD is pretty solid. Atlantic 10 conference team. They're pretty solid. But we got some NFL news that we want to talk about. So, man, the Buffalo Bills have decided on their head coach. They're going to go with Joe Brady. We'll talk about that. But most importantly, Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, what the fuck? Who can be a first ballot Hall of Famer? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about basketball in the NBA game of the night. We'll also talk NFL. It's still 3 coaching spots remaining, and these are the 3 worst spots you probably can go to. That's probably why he said what's up to the fellas. He up there cooking it up in the kitchen as usual, my guy. So let's get right to it, so man, because I think we won't be able to hear Mike. He'll probably be there live, but we won't be able to hear him because of the background noise, man. But the Bills decided on offensive coordinator Joe Brady as their head coach. What does this mean? They went in house. They really. This is like a week or so that they hired this guy. Is this something that you think they already had in mind?
Yeah, Joe. They interviewed about 4 or 5 different guys. From what I heard of. So. They interviewed about 4 or 5 different candidates. They chose a guy that was already there. I think, Joe, I don't know if you mentioned him as the head coach there or maybe one of the other teams, but I think you did mention him as possible being a head coach. So he already has a good relationship with the quarterback, and that's very key here. I'm pretty sure they let the quarterback have a say-so on who the head coach is. So he said, hey, why not just make Brady the head coach? He's already running the plays. Kind of like same thing the Dallas Cowboys did last year when they upgraded. Well, they think they upgraded since they brought in another head coach. Now they got to figure out what they're going to do on defense, and they'll probably run it back and be just as good as they were this year.
Okay, Michael, the People Champ. Before you get disconnected, man, talk to me about Joe Brady being the named head coach of the Buffalo Bills this season. What did you think about that?
Jody, I really can't hear a lot of what you're saying, but if you're talking about Joe Brady being a coach. I think that's a good move.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what his audio is, but Joe Brady being the head coach, man, I think this was it's kind of like, you know what, man, it's kind of a smack in the face to Sean McDermott. I know that I said that Joe Brady, if he was gonna go with anything else, I always said that Joe Brady should have been the guy. I don't think they needed to go anywhere else. But in this particular moment, so I just think that how much different is the offense, or how much different is this going to look with Joe Brady at the helm than with Sean McDermott? I mean, he was already on the staff; they couldn't get it done as well. Like, how much accountability does Joe Brady have to take being the offensive coordinator? And your quarterback had a below average game in the last game that Sean McDermott coached in.
I think it's that they're just giving him the head coach position. They don't have to learn a new offense. They can keep that the same. They're probably going to go out and try to get some more weapons for the quarterback. I have no problem with that. It makes sense to me. I mean, Dallas did the same thing this past off season. They just didn't figure out the whole defensive coordinator thing. If they had a decent defense, Dallas would have been all world this year. So I think it's a good move just to move him up. We already knows he knows how to run the offense. I think it's a good decision to bring him in as head coach.
Hey, what's up, Richard Norvell in the building, man? Richard Norvell, I know he's extremely happy about the Super Bowl upcoming. His Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. They will be going against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll be talking about that pretty much all next week because we got 2 weeks to get prepared for this game. But my thought, like I said, I like to hire a Joe Brady. I thought he should have been a head coach. I think this is the second one I called as being a head coach that had never been a head coach before. Him and Jesse Minter, both of those guys were high on my list for a lot of jobs out here. Like you said, it makes sense for him to stay in Buffalo. But like I said, Sean McDermott, you know, he was the head coach. You had the offensive coordinator, and the question mark was, did we have enough talent on this offense? So what is it that Joe Brady's going to have to be able to do? Because he's an offensive-minded guy. He's an offensive coordinator, but the defense was last in the lead against the run. What does he have to do?
They're going to have to figure out who's going to be the defensive coordinator because he probably don't know anything about defense. I'm just assuming he doesn't. He's an offensive-minded guy, offensive coordinator in college and in the pros. It's going to be key who they pick up as their defensive coordinator to fix that defense. They had a lot of holes in that defense. Even on the offense, they got to the second round of the playoffs, but that offense needs some more weapons on the outside. They have the quarterback and they have the running back figured out. That I know you like those tight ends. They got the tight end position figured out. They got to figure out that wide receiver thing. And I think they're going to be aggressive in free agency and through the draft to try to get the quarterback some more wide receivers. I think that's their game plan.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the wide receiver position with the Bills. A lot of people have gave flack to Keon Coleman. Well, yeah. I think he had about 35 catches, over 400 yards. I think he only had 1 or 2 touchdowns. He did have a postseason touchdown. You know, it's incredible that we only talk about this. They called this kid a bust after 2 years. First of all, he wasn't a first-round draft pick, so everybody needs to slow their fucking roll. Second of all, if you go look at all the other second-year wide receivers, they had subpar years too. Lad McConkey didn't have the same season he had as a rookie. Marvin Harrison Jr., who we love out of Ohio State, didn't have that spectacular year. He was struggling. These guys went before him, not Lad McConkey, but Marvin Harrison Jr. went before him. It was some receivers that had great freshman years. Brian Thomas Jr. didn't have the season he had prior to. So why is it that Keon Coleman the only one catching hell, and they calling him a bust when first of all he was a second-round pick for one, and third of all he's on, like I said, all the other guys struggled in their year 2 as well. Why is that so?
Well, when you play with an all-world quarterback, their expectations are high. I remember when Xavier Worthy got drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs, and Xavier Worthy, one of his first interviews, he was talking to Patrick Mahomes about learning the offense. He said Mahomes told him, "We're not giving you no pass because you're a rookie. We expect greatness here." So when you play with a great quarterback, if you don't produce, they're going to blame you. Not that quarterback. They're going to blame you.
So why they not Xavier Worthy was in the same draft and got drafted before Keon Coleman. Nobody's calling him a bust.
Well, they went to the Super Bowl his rookie year. He played.
I said year 2. This is year 2. Xavier Worthy and Keon Coleman were in the same draft. Xavier Worthy was the #1 for a long time, and he didn't get things done. But we're not calling Xavier Worthy a bust, and he was a higher draft pick playing with an all-world quarterback, just like Keon Coleman. Well, we're calling Keon Coleman a bust already and blaming so much of the offensive woes in Buffalo on Keon Coleman.
Well, Joe, you got to figure, I mean, Xavier Worthy did miss games because the issues. I don't know what's going on with Coleman. I'm pretty sure there's more to the story than what we know. But all I do know is this kid missed games because I heard he was missing practices. He wasn't being professional, things of that nature. So he had about 2 or 3 games that the coach decided healthy scratches is never a good thing in the world of sports. If you're not playing just because you're not doing certain things, so that's an issue.
Hey, we got my nephew Donald Coleman, the voice of the youth in the building. What's good, Donald? How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling. I'm good. How y'all feeling?
I'm about to get to you about this hire in Buffalo, but I can't let Soul get away with this. And my man Ronnie said, that's my guy, man. He been one of my good friends since I was like 5 or 6, man. He said my Raiders let all the coaches get hired. That's my guy. But this is the thing, Soul. You keep saying these particular things about other wide receivers not being mature. Didn't Rashid Rice play bumper cars on the highway?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why, it's like what's good for the goose don't never be good for the gander. It's like Keon Coleman he's a bust, and he's in year 2, about to be year 3.
The owner of the Kansas City Chiefs didn't come out and throw his player under the bus either, like the Buffalo Bills owner did. Buffalo Bills owner called this guy a bust, and he also blamed the coaching staff for hiring the guy. So they're talking shit about this dude. I mean, I'm asking for a trade.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. But Donald, talk to me about Buffalo Bills hiring Joe Brady, the former offensive coordinator. Basically, he got a promotion to be the head coach. Do you like this move, Donald?
I mean, I think it's lateral. I don't think I think you just had to get something new. Because I don't think that Sean McDermott got fired for doing a bad job. It's just after so long, sometimes you just need a refreshing face. You just need a restart. So you really need to change much. It's just sometimes you need a restart.
I get it. Now I'm gonna double down. We talked. Soul made mention of wide receiver help, but we were talking about Keon Coleman, a guy that's only in his 2nd year. And Keon Coleman, if you look at all the receivers that was in his class, they didn't have a great 2nd year. I'm not saying all of them didn't, but Marvin Harrison Jr., he was battling injury in and out of the lineup. Lad McConkey didn't have a year he had. Brian Thomas didn't have a year. Malik Neighbors got hurt. He didn't have the same year. Xavier Worthy didn't have. All these guys except for Lad McConkey was drafted before him. So why are we labeling already after 2 years in the NFL, we're labeling Keon Coleman a bust?
I mean, just not making plays. Like you said, Lad McConkey had a productive year. I'm already on the Marvin Harrison Jr. not being that good. I see him dropping the ball. It's just certain things I see Keon Coleman do. Like the other day when he dropped that ball in the back of the end zone and they had to keep the field goal, literally dropped the ball on the touchdown. It's certain things like, all right, but I wouldn't call him a bust yet. I don't like calling people a bust too early because you always got a chance to revamp your career. And I think situation and certain things make a big difference. And plus, playing with certain quarterbacks, it's more pressure than other quarterbacks.
And you got to think about it. If we're not gonna call Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones a bust, that you gave them 7, 8 fucking years to be productive. Why are we calling this guy a bust when he was a 2nd round pick at that? Hey, what's up, Eagles? Philly said, good evening, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe and stay blessed. I hope y'all are good out there in Philly. I know y'all got a ton of snow like we did in the Midwest, so I hope y'all good. Hey, Teresa, she said hi. We're staying warm and congratulations. I believe she got her new place house. So congratulations. King Minx in the building. He said, what's up to my guy? What's up, King Minx, man? You know he ain't got no sense, so I can imagine what he's about to talk about because he has 0 sense up here, and I love it. But before we get off of this Buffalo Bill hire, the defensive coordinator position is up in there. So if you're the head coach, the GM, remember the GM got promoted. So it looked like everybody got promoted. Like the GM got promoted to the GM as well as the president of the Buffalo Bills. Now Joe Brady gets promoted to head coach. Who do you bring in as an offensive coordinator, and who do you bring in as a defensive coordinator in Buffalo? So,
well, I don't think Joe Brady's probably going to be being a play caller in Buffalo. He might bring in another guy to oversee certain things. But I'm pretty sure Joe Brady, he's been calling plays. He'll probably continue to do that. Now, defensive coordinator Joe, I have no idea who they have in mind. Are they going to promote somebody that's already there? I have no idea, but I know I think they'll be better next year. I never was a big Sean McDermott guy. I never was, Joe. You know that. I never really thought the guy was that impressive. So I think they'll be better without him.
First and foremost, I love your shirt too, man. That's Mark. That's classic, right? I love it. Donald, what do you think in Buffalo right now? Brady, all these guys getting promoted. Brady is now the head coach and not Tom Brady. But anyway, Brady is the head coach. DC, I don't know what they're doing with that. Donald, what do you think? What are they bringing in an offensive coordinator, defense coordinator with? Oh, with Brian Daboll being the offensive coordinator now with the Tennessee Titans, he did get the job there.
That's a good pickup.
Defensive coordinator, like Joe said, if they keeping everything else in house, they may either keep the same D coordinator or just upgrade somebody from a position coach, maybe the linebackers coach, maybe a position coach, or just stay in house. Maybe it was just Sean Dermott. We just want you out of the way, or it may have been somebody that wanted Sean McDermott out of there. It could have been any type of inside thing, so where they feel like they didn't need a big shakeup. They just, at the end of the day, they were one play away from probably going to the AFC Championship. So it's not like that. It's not like they just coming out and flat out getting bleak and not performing.
I agree. On the defensive side, I would think about bringing in Gerard Mayo, let him resurface with his career, bring him in on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive coordinator, you see that they just got rid of the Denver Broncos fired Lombardi. Maybe think about bringing Denver's offensive coordinator over. He just got fired with the Broncos after 3 seasons, or trying to draw Webb away from Denver as well. Maybe you can bring him over. But I think a lot of the coordinators off the board. Did y'all see that Chip Kelly actually took the offensive coordinator job at Northwestern? So Chip Kelly, yeah, he's the offensive coordinator for Northwestern.
Well, he'll have more jobs in Jamaica lately. He's been bouncing around like crazy.
But yeah, man, that's some good stuff right there. But we got another pressing issue, guys, and we have to talk about this right here. This is completely preposterous. Bill Belichick, the guy that has 6 Super Bowls, more Super Bowls than any other head coach in NFL history. He is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Donald, I'm gonna let Donald go first on this one, so I'm gonna bring you up. What is this? What is this about?
He cheated. The guy left, won without him. He was garbage, and the team that he left is right back in the Super Bowl.
But hold on, Donald. Hold on. He did. He did go to a playoff with Mac Jones.
Did he go to the Super Bowl?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. No, and I think that the Patriots being in the Super Bowl this year, I think that hurts. It shouldn't, because your resume is your resume. But they're right back in the Super Bowl a couple years removed from you. Tom Brady left and went and won without you, and then y'all just weren't that good. That makes it look kind of, but not saying, but you should be first ballot, because the resume that he has, I mean, like you said, if he's not first ballot, then no coach is first ballot. Just going off sheer resume. And at the same time, he cheated.
Hold on, Donald. Let's throw a little gasoline on the fire. He also has 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants as a defensive coordinator. Do we forget about that? He had 2 Super Bowls.
How many defensive coordinators are first ballot Hall of Famers?
But he's a head coach as well.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So you can't you bring in his defensive coordinating resume to the head coaching position. To the head.
His 6 Super Bowls alone should have been. They should have put him in. As soon as he left New England, he should have been put in right there.
I agree. Well, I don't think that him or Tom Brady should be Hall of Famers.
Oh,
actually.
Shit.
Because either it's all good or it's all bad. If you're flat out cheating, if Barry Bonds not a Hall of Famer,
that's baseball though, Donald. Baseball is fucked up.
This all I'm saying. If you're cheating, what you're doing is no good in sports. Or you just make it all good. Because you can't. What you say, what's good for the goose can't be good for the gander. If you're cheating, you're cheating.
Now, I would agree with you if they took their Super Bowls away. They did not. There's no asterisk by the Super Bowl. They're not removed. Now, they would have took some of these Super Bowls away, then I would agree with you. They have not taken anything away from Tom Brady, nor Bill Belichick, or the New England Patriots. They took a couple draft picks away, and then Tom Brady got suspended 4 games for Deflategate. Now, in all actuality, they was going to win that game anyway. Y'all know how he got caught? Y'all know he got caught because they were winning 45-7. He threw an interception to Leonard. Shaq Leonard picked him off, and when they went to the sideline, they checked the ball and found out the ball was deflated. He never throws that interception against the Indianapolis Colts. They would have never known that it was a deflated situation.
But my thing is, Joe, how long these dudes been cheating? We know about the time they've been caught, but how many times have they actually cheated? We have no idea. We'll never know.
They didn't cheat. It's like, remember the stuff I sent in the chat? It's still new stuff coming out about him cheating. It's like he don't really have no legit win. Like, when did he actually win?
But real quick, King Ming said the writers some real haters. He said, "Wow, Donald, bro, Tom Brady, bro. Richard Norvell knew he was gonna jump on." He said Brady wasn't the reason we won those first three or the last Super Bowl. I don't know. So, what do you think about Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer? Because
he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be a first ballot. The man has the second most wins in NFL history, behind Don Shula. Am I right, Joe? Am I right about that?
I think no, he's third. It's somebody still ahead of him. It's Don Shula, then there's somebody else in front of him. I can't remember. It's somebody ahead. It's two people ahead of Tom.
I mean, the dude's got a shitload of Super Bowls. He deserves to be a first ballot. Rumor is Bill Polian has something to do with this. You know, he's in the Hall of Fame. He was the he headed up the Indianapolis Colts organization for years, and the rumor is he's telling the voters not to vote this dude in at first ballot Hall of Fame. It's a joke. He deserves to be in first ballot. Not a Patriots fan. I do agree with Donald. They cheated, but no one really brings that up. They just bring it up right now, but no one really talks about it. Everyone just calls Tom Brady a GOAT. They never talks about how cheating they did. Well, he won those championships. But Bill Belichick definitely deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Okay. Michael, the people said he in a place that we can hear him now. Bill Belichick not being the first ballot Hall of Famer. What is your thoughts on that?
It's silly. You can't have your all-time Super Bowl winningest coach not be in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. I don't care what allegations, I don't care about none of that shit. It must be some personal vendetta that somebody has in the background, and it's disgusting.
I think this is the most egregious shit I've ever seen. So how you gonna? So it's no other. It should be no other coach ever gets into the Hall of Fame ever, because there's nobody with the resume. Like I said, he got 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator with the Giants. He coached arguably the best offensive player and arguably the best defensive player in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor and Tom Brady. And people say without Bill Belichick, they would not have Lawrence Taylor under control in New York. He was the only person that he could get anybody to listen. So if that's the case, nobody stands a chance to get into the Hall of Fame. We won't see none of these guys get in. None of these new, not even Andy Reid, probably not a Hall of Famer. Nobody's coaching today should get in the Hall of Fame if you don't let Bill Belichick get in first. I don't give a shit about these personal vendettas. If they say you cheated, then come and take the fucking Super Bowls away. Now, if you took the Super Bowls away, I'd agree, because I do believe there was some spicy shit going on. But if you don't take their shit away, how can you punish somebody for not doing what you need to go ahead and do and then not have him a first ballot Hall of Famer? Is some bullshit. Go ahead, so.
100% agree with you, man. I'm not a big fan of his, but if you're going by just strictly resume, he deserves to be a first ballot. How many coaches are actually first ballot Hall of Famers?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that the list is not very long, but if anyone deserves to be in there, it's definitely this guy.
I agree. I agree with the resume. He's undeniable, undisputed. My thing is, like you said, it has to be something with the cheating, or they just view him as not being that great because of the stuff with Brady leaving and winning without him, and then them being right back. I don't understand why he's not first ballot Hall of Fame. Like, I don't understand it. So, like you said, it must be something going on to where they about the allegations or whatever the case. But some of it can't be good, and all of it can't be good, because if his don't count, Brady's don't count. They're damn sure gonna count Brady's, so they should count his.
Mike, put a bow on this. What do you think? Put a bow on this.
All right. If you use Viagra or Cialis, it could be cheap, but it doesn't stop you from being good in the sack. And so if you're a Hall of Famer in the sack and you use some performance enhancing drugs, then you still should be first ballot no matter what.
What about the gas station pills, Mike? The Rhino pills, you use those?
Real gas, is it on your pants?
Yeah,
Hey, those rhinos work pretty well.
I ain't never. I think I'm getting to the age I might have to start using some of that, but right now I haven't got to it yet.
That shit scares me, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's coming. Pause. But like I said, if you're going to say that Bill Belichick cheated, you can't just say it and throw it in the atmosphere. Then go back and take their Super Bowls away. If you don't go back and take their Super Bowls away, you don't put an asterisk or you don't remove the championship banners from Gillette Stadium, shut the fuck up and put this man in the Hall of Fame.
But they did, but it was punishment for it. So, or it just means one or two things: that cheating is not that bad, or it's that cheating is not that. You can't hear me?
Yeah,
somebody got something.
I think his mic turned up.
Go ahead.
But it's either cheating is not that bad, or winning don't matter that much. Because there's no way he shouldn't be in if winning really matters that much.
That's crazy work. Richard Novell said Bill is just hated. Eagles Philly, he said congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. He said going to Super Bowl 60 at Santa Clara, California in the 49ers Stadium. King Mink said guess Don wants Sean King and Brad Johnson in the Hall of Fame. He said he's a first ballot will be Andy Reid. He said them honey packs and blue chews and Hennessy all day long.
But yeah, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I don't think that's accurate at all. And to be honest, I'm really upset about it because I'm going to the Hall of Fame this year and I'm going to ask a lot of questions because you're letting people in with less resumes get in. I mean, him just as a defensive coordinator, he should get in. If you let Eric Coryell get into the Hall of Fame that didn't win shit, I knew he came up with a new high octane offense with the Chargers. But he didn't win shit. They didn't win no playoff game. They didn't get to no Super Bowl. So if you're letting Eric Coryell, who was an offensive coordinator, get into the Hall of Fame, even if you take away what Bill Belichick did in New England, he got 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator. He should get into the Hall of Fame alone just with that. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm agreeing with you about the New York Giants. Like, this man has 2 Super Bowls before he ever got a head coaching job, and he was the coordinator. It wasn't like he was just the position coach. He was the defensive coordinator of one of the best defensive units in the 80s. And then he might have done well in Cleveland. We really don't know. It ended a little too soon. But Saban was on his staff, and Saban is from his tree. So now imagine if Saban gets into the College Hall of Fame first ballot, but Belichick can't get into the Pro Hall of Fame first ballot. This smells like Pete Rose to me all over again.
Go ahead, Donald.
I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, before we get to the other topics, I got one more topic. I'm not going to post it down here. I'm just going to. So I was doing some research and I was thinking about, of course, big shout out to Mike. Sam Darnold getting to the Pro Super Bowl. Big shout out to him. First out of the 2018 class. But guys, this is what I came up with. If you look at 32 teams projected starters, if they were healthy, there's 27 quarterbacks that are first round quarterbacks that's projected to be the starter. There's 5 that's not. That's Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders. That's Tyler Shaw with the Saints. That's Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. That's Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, and that's Geno Smith of the Raiders. Everybody else has a projected first round quarterback. Out of the playoff teams, out of 14 playoff teams, 12 of them were first round draft picks. So it gets me back, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask Mike because I know he probably got limited time. I know that the quarterback crop is not what we think, but I think it's better to go with a first round quarterback. Mike, what do you think?
You definitely want a first round quarterback, but you don't have to sell the kitchen house to get that quarterback like this upcoming draft. I think you could take these guys at market value from 15 to 23 and get you maybe some generational other players like Downs, like Manoa. There's a bunch of dudes that are coming out that are Avil Reese. Like these guys could be generational at different positions, and you can find that quarterback later in the first round, not early.
But if you a team, hold on, stay there, Mike. If you a team like the Raiders, Jets, those two teams roll off the tongue that need a quarterback. Are you going to risk passing on the Heisman Trophy and national championship caliber quarterback in Mendoza because you think that you can get a later quarterback in the draft?
What I'm gonna try to do is create me some more draft picks with that first pick, and get my organization moving in the right direction. I'm not looking for just this year. There are better quarterbacks that'll come out next year. So I can get my organization right, get some draft picks, get us really set up to make a run in the future if I'm not sold on one of these guys. Now, if you think that Mendoza meets all your metrics as a GM and as a front office, then you go with him. But I'm saying what I see, it doesn't meet it for me, and I probably would go a different direction and create a bunch of draft picks for my organization.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Majority, if you look at 27 out of 32 teams have first round quarterbacks as their starting quarterback, or potentially, because we're gonna say in Justin Fields and Tua Tagovailoa and Daniel Jones, those guys will start. We just saying arguably. Would you you're the Raiders who have not drafted a quarterback in the first round since Jamarcus Russell. We talk about over close to 20 years ago, 18, 20 years ago. Do you sell the stock and go ahead and go after Mendoza and make sure that he's a Raider?
Yeah, you have to, man. Even if you strike out with this guy, you have to, man, because the way the salary is set up now, quarterbacks getting drafted the first round, they're not breaking the bank. It's not like you get a drafted quarterback, all these slots, everything's slotted now as far as the salary. So you could draft a quarterback every year if it don't work out. So yeah, the Raiders need to draft a quarterback, but help the quarterback. Plus, like you talked about the Tennessee Titans, you got the quarterback, but you got to put something around it. Bring the quarterback in there. Go in free agency, get some offensive linemen, and go in the other rounds in the draft and get this guy some wide receivers to see if he can play in this league. Now, if he can't play, get rid of his ass and bring another guy in. Mike has some great points, but I do believe you cannot be looking too far ahead as a GM and as a coach, because the way they're firing these coaches and GMs now, you got to strike now. You think, oh, in the future you'll be fired. So you got to try to figure this shit out real quick now.
Okay. Donald, what do you think about that? Do you make sure that you get a Mendoza? Do you make sure you get a Ty Simpson in the first round? Do you make sure that you get a Chamberlain, because it don't look like he's going to win his case? Do you make sure you get one of those guys in the first round?
It's tricky because it's like, of course, the odds say the better quarterbacks will be picked in the first round. That's just what the numbers and the odds say forever. But sometimes you look and see like this guy's just not it. But another times you could say, okay, he is it, but he's not it right now. Just like we see him with Sam Darnold. Like, there's a lot of guys you just might not be it right now, but a person can see your talent and see what you have up. So I think it's you gotta go get one. I think the Raiders have to pick Mendoza because it's an easy way to not look stupid. Because at the end of the day, even if he's a bust, it's like, okay, he's the consensus. That's who we just should pick because it looks right, and it may work out.
If you the Jets or Raiders, I say those are the two teams that definitely need help at the quarterback position. I think you gotta go with a quarterback, even like you said. So even if it don't work, Mendoza, like if it was up to me, remember I told you when I graded these quarterbacks, I didn't have anybody better than a second round pick. Mendoza was probably my highest. I think I had Mateer as my highest, to graded the highest at mid-season. Of course, Mateer got hurt and then he went back to school. But if the Raiders don't get Mendoza after what he did in the playoffs, what he did in the championship game, winning the Heisman and winning the national championship, there is going to be an uproar in Vegas. The Raider fans are going to try to burn that city down and try to move back to Oakland or LA or wherever they can go, because you got to go with a quarterback. No disrespect to Geno Smith. Geno Smith at this point is a backup quarterback. He's Jacoby Brissett at this juncture of his career. Can we agree? I mean,
oh yeah.
had some good years. He got back with Seattle a couple times. He looked good and serviceable for a couple years with Seattle. But you got to go with Mendoza. Maybe not starting day one if you still got Geno Smith under contract, but you got to go after him. And if you're the Jets and if you're Aaron Glenn, you better get somebody at the quarterback position that know how to throw a forward pass. And you can't do it with Justin Fields.
No.
You can't do it with the kid that you got out of Missouri. I think his name is Cook. You got to go get Chamberlain or Todd Simpson, whoever's available. And I know they're probably not worth that second or third pick of the draft. But, Donald, do you have to do that if you're the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom say you do, but at the same time, nothing's conventional or wise about the Jets. So, and the thing is, the player who they get probably is not going to be good with the Jets anyway. So, like you said, if it's somebody else like a generational talent, I don't think you force it. You just gotta, because you're probably gonna be bad again. I think you just wait and maybe do it next year, because the Jets probably gonna have a top 5 pick again next year with 2 or 3 probably top 5 quarterbacks coming out.
Aaron Glenn ain't got time to be waiting.
Yeah, he ain't got the time.
Joey, if I'm the Jets, I know people have already talked about this. I would consider making a trade, not a first round pick, but I would call Green Bay and say, "Hey, man, what we get from Malik Willis? I bring Malik Willis in there and make him my starter. That's an upgrade from what we had. And I use that second overall pick to maybe get him a weapon to throw the ball to, or maybe another offensive lineman. And get the right offensive coordinator in there, and I think they'll be okay."
I see what you're saying. In the Jets in Cleveland are similar to destroying quarterbacks. They're just similar in destroying quarterbacks at the junction. I don't know if Malik Willis is a big enough splash to keep your cousin Aaron Glenn's job, though.
It might be true.
Mike, what do you think about that? The Jets. We know the Raiders probably got to go after. They probably got to go after Mendoza. But what does the Jets have to do? Do they got to pick a quarterback, even if it ain't worth that pick?
I like what Sol just said. I would try to move that pick, sign Willis, and then maybe take Chambliss later in the first round if I'm able to secure another first-round pick. And that way I got a veteran quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and some type of other player that adds to my team, whether it's an offensive lineman or skill position player or even potentially outstanding defensive player to bolster that defense.
I think the Jets have like 3 first-round picks this year.
Yeah, because they got the Colts first-round pick and the Cowboys first.
Yeah, they got a lot of first-round picks.
Yeah, so I would trade down and give me some more picks, and then get who I wanted a little bit later. Because if you get Malik Willis, then you don't have to worry about the quarterback position, and you're playing with house money.
I see what you're saying, Mike, but the only problem is Aaron Glenn. The clock is ticking right fucking now for Aaron Glenn.
No,
but the clock is ticking on all these guys all the time. Just like Sol was talking about the GM in Oakland and this and that. Well, I guarantee you this: if Mendoza goes 0-16, the GM in Oakland is just as out as he was without picking Mendoza as he was picking Mendoza.
Go ahead, Donald.
But it's the thing, though. It's Aaron Glenn is on the clock, but how much of it is his call? You can basically they can deal him a hand and say, "Well, you just gonna play with who we got, and you better win, or we gonna fire you anyway." So how much is he in on the call? And the thing is, he may not even be in the plan for them. He may have been the person just to let's try to set our team up, get some draft picks. We can say we hired you. We're probably gonna fire you when we get the players we want to hear anyway.
The Jets don't have a plan, Donald. They play. Remember that game, pin the tail on the donkey. They put the blindfold on you. They spin you around. They don't have a plan. They just make it up as they go along.
That's you right. Jay Kane says, should we as the media and fans start putting the draft picks with the names of the person who drafted? Meaning GM. I think they do that. You look like a genius if you pick Joe Burrow, but if you go and pick Johnny Manziel, the Cleveland Browns GM that picked him is no longer with the Browns. So a lot of times you better hit on these draft picks, especially the quarterback position, and that's why so many teams like the Jets, the Browns, for a long time it was the Commanders until they got Jaden Daniels. Detroit before they made that trade. Well, they had Matthew Stafford, but it's a lot of teams that was not successful with the quarterback position. We lost Mike. He probably was doing it.
So let me ask this: is the GM of the Jets at the time? Is he like a genius? Like I told y'all, Sam Darnold was going to be good.
But this is funny about Sam Darnold. Like I said, I'm gonna give him his credit. He is in Super Bowl, and he did not get carried in that.
He played great.
He played fantastic.
He got my whole respect. He played elite football.
But this is my problem. See, I never had a problem with Sam Darnold the way Mike. That was so. I don't know why he directed it towards me. Soul said that he wasn't.
What did I say? No, Jody, hold on. What did I say?
Soul said he want to come back player of the year. What did he come back from? He came back from being ass.
No, but Soul said his bold prediction outside of him picking Carolina, he said that Jalen Melrose will be the starting quarterback by
I did say that. I
remember this stuff. But my thing is, it's not that I said he couldn't play, but if you look at his numbers, regular season numbers, with 14 interceptions, that he was one of the leaders in interceptions. If that was any other quarterback that did not have the team around him the way he did, we'd be talking about how ass Sam Darnold is still. If he would have been playing with a defense, like let's say he was playing with Buffalo's defense that was last against the run, we may be looking at him differently, especially if you have 14 turnovers. That defense allow you to turn the ball over. Now, what I will say, I don't think he has any turnovers in the playoffs. I don't think he has any turnovers. But this is the thing. He had how many years did he have to be good? So, I'm actually how many why he got so many opportunities. You got to think he played for the Jets, he played for Carolina, he played for the 49ers, he played for Minnesota. Then he's with his fifth team in like 7 or 8 years though, guys.
But who can really win with the Jets? I kind of give them a little bit of a pass with the Jets. The Jets haven't had good quarterback play since Boomer Esiason. Am I right? That's not something they had. Sanchez took them to 2 AFC Championship games back to back. That defense took them.
That's my point.
So I don't know. I'm not a big Sam Darnold guy. Don't get me wrong. He's played well in this playoffs. He's proven me and probably a lot of people wrong. But I think the expectations were low for this guy. So if he plays good, they're like, oh, shit, look at Sam Darnold out here balling. You know what I mean? Right. No one knew he was going to put up a triple-double. We didn't know he could do this. So he's out there. The expectations are low. So if he plays well, everybody, oh, look at old Sam out here playing some decent football.
And that's what I say all the time. You don't matter that much. It's the team. You don't hate. So a lot of people who be getting these wins, the team gets them. It's not about who the quarterback is, because like you said, if he didn't play with that defense, they may be 3-14. That's what. So they don't really matter that much. Just like I was gonna say, like yesterday or the day before yesterday, I feel like Drake May. This is the most ass quarterback I've ever seen play in the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but it don't matter. He's there. He going to the Super Bowl and he was ass. So like you said, it don't matter. Like Matt Stafford was better than Drake May the other day.
Oh,
I didn't see Tom Brady play like ass. I didn't see Peyton Manning play like ass.
That's why I say
a lot of quarterbacks play like ass and
your team. That's why I said the team can save you. And then the quarterback get too much credit sometimes.
But in the playoffs, you gotta look at you gotta get there. So there's a lot of guys that had the character. Because I see Mahomes play all world, and then, he's really played relatively well in the playoffs. You know, if he had the ball last, the Kansas City was going to win that game. We see that Josh Allen. If Josh Allen doesn't have these turnovers, he's probably in the Super Bowl this year. You see what I'm saying? So Sam Darnold did not get carried by the least bit in that game. I think he was the X factor in that game. Let's keep it all the way real, because Matthew Stafford, if they don't have that fumble punt, I think the Rams win that game.
Yeah, so that's how I'm not putting that on I'm not putting that on whatchamacallit. And number 27, they won the game, but he should never play football. He can't play for me ever again. Because I'm gonna be honest, if he don't get that penalty, I felt like that was game at that point anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Now you talking about Woodlands.
And then you got burnt for a touchdown the next play.
Yeah, he's really good though, Don. He made a mistake. He's really good.
I'm like, ooh wee. But yet about that Drake May, I'm like, Justin Herbert was just more ass than him. CJ Stroud was just more ass than him, and Stidham was just more ass than him. So you didn't do nothing to win these games, but the team got it done, and you got a chance to win the Super Bowl.
No doubt. Eagles Philly saying that was not my first down for the New England Patriots. He was short of the goal line. You're very true. And then Jay Kane said, "How does ass play?" He said, "His ass play. How just basically not doing what you're supposed to do, Jay Kane, getting out on the field and not producing, not hitting the open guys and shit like that." And that's how.
No one you got saved by the snow. The snow changed that entire game. If the Broncos would have kicked that fucking field goal,
I promise
they'd have went up 10-0. And then the snow comes in, and they could have just held on to the lead. Because, bro, in that fourth quarter, New England didn't want the football. It was 3rd and 12. Let's run it. We'll see if y'all can fucking score. Because they knew Denver couldn't even see the fucking field. So they knew. What 3 yards and what punt? It was like 100 yards passing, I think Drake may have. He probably had more rushing yards than he did passing in that football game. It was a really ugly game.
I promise I thought about you, so I said Sean Payton lost this game. Flat out. If you kick the field goal, you go up 10-0. My thing is, how do you be aggressive and then you be non-aggressive the rest of the game? If you're coaching aggressive, be aggressive. You go up 10-0, that's game. But Drake made it, they scored a touchdown. They had to go about 12 yards on.
Yeah.
And that was it. Literally, that was it.
And I really feel bad. That turnover that Stidham got, they said it was a backwards pass.
It looked like it to me.
He pushed it
when
forward.
He threw it, the guy hit his arm. It looked like it went lateral. It looked like it was long as it's slightly ahead. I didn't like that call. I didn't think that.
Jody, they didn't even look at it.
Yeah, I don't think they just assumed.
They overturned it. They overturned it or they self on the field.
I don't know. I ain't like that either. I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, I don't think that was a backwards pass. But I got one more NFL question before we get to the game of night in the NBA. And this question is the NFL coaching jobs that are available are the 3 probably worst coaching jobs. Cleveland has had a lot of coaches take their name out of the hat to go be offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators. The Raiders are the Raiders. They done fired their head coach 3 straight seasons. And then, the Cardinals may be the 2nd worst. These are 3 worst coaching positions. So, Brian, let's start with the Browns. What do you think the Browns are going to have to do? Because all the other coaches are hired.
The Browns' issue is not talent. They got a shitload of talent on this roster. I don't think people like that owner. I don't know what it is with this guy. It seems like people don't really flock to this dude. So people are turning down head coaching jobs in the NFL. Nah, I'd rather stay in my coordinator job than take a head coaching job. Like you said, Jolie, you already talked about them moving the defensive coordinator up, but apparently there's this hotshot offensive coordinator, a quarterbacks coach, I do believe, for the Rams, brother. I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're talking about possibly interviewing him and giving him that job. So if I'm him, if they offer it to me, I'm taking it. Yeah, I can work with Shedeur Sanders, and hopefully they'll let me coach the team and not meddle too much.
Yeah, Saleh, Teresa. Yeah, Saleh is the head coach of Tennessee, and they got Dable as an offensive coordinator. Donald, what do you think the Cleveland Browns should do? I wasn't too high on the guy from the Jaguars anyway. Some of the guys that withdrew their name, I didn't want them to be the head coach anyway. So I'm like, but what do you think the Browns have to do now?
I think like these. Well, I guess we'll go one by one. Okay, I think the Browns, they need to go all the way to left field somewhere. Just because you just need something new. The conventional thing about bringing a guy in, doing this stuff the conventional way is just not it. And I honestly believe if Shedeur is going to be your quarterback going forward, how big his personality is, I think you need a person with a big personality to allow him to do that. Like I know like people like Dan Campbell or stuff will take him, but those gutsy type of let a person do their thing coaches, I think they need one of them. So I think they need to go find somebody who's gutsy and who's going to have a big personality to match the personality of the team. And the quarterback.
When you say Shedeur Sanders' name, say Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders next time you speak on my
NFL is
I
think that's the worst.
Congratulations, he can play the flag football game.
No, I think that's the worst Pro Bowl I ever seen. So like I ever seen.
No, my thing is the dude Hutley was worse than that, but I think
Hutley made it. Yeah,
a few years ago.
My thing is with those guys, if it's the first initial team, those are the Pro Bowlers that count. All these alternates. First of all, it's a flag football game. Just don't replace them. The only people we should be worried about is the starters. If you don't have enough starters to play a fucking flag football game, then don't play it. It's fucking flag football. But anyway,
unless it's in Saudi.
Yeah. But my thing is Cleveland, I don't really – outside of Sean McDermott, and I think he's taking a year off of coaching, outside of him, which we didn't even have on our radar because nobody knew he was not going to be the coach of the Buffalo Bills except for so I think that I'm not really worried about him. Of course, you're not gonna go back with Kevin Stefanski. You just let him go. Jesse Minter, we knew Jesse Minter was gonna take the better job because Baltimore is a better job than Cleveland. So all y'all keep talking about they taking their name out the hat. Some of y'all need to shut the fuck up because we don't even need none of those guys. None of those guys like Mike McDaniels. He wouldn't last a fucking day in Cleveland. Guess where he went? He went to a West Coast team that is hot. That motherfucker didn't want to be in Cleveland. He didn't even like games that was under 32 degrees. Nigga, that's where all your home games, at least 6 of your home games, gonna be under 30 degrees. So we didn't want Mike McDaniels either. I don't think he got the nuts to be the coach in Cleveland. So Jim Schwartz has the nuts to be the head coach in Cleveland. Make him the head coach. I think he loves Shedeur Sanders. He gonna have that defense on point because we don't want to lose the edge. Because you don't fuck around and you don't let Jim Schwartz be the head coach. He's gonna go somewhere else and probably go to the 49ers and be their defensive coordinator. No, give him the head coaching fucking job. He's already there. He's been a head coach before, and then go get you some coordinators in there. You can even keep Reese in there for real. You ain't got to change the offensive coordinator. You just go get another defensive coordinator.
Does Schwartz want the head coaching job?
He does. He's interviewed twice.
Okay.
Real quick, breaking news. Jay Kane said the Browns reached out to Seth McCain for the head coaching job. He said no. So he said he don't want to be the head. We don't need you anyway. Richard Norvell said New York looked at it. The football did go back a yard. Yeah, I need to hop on the show soon to address all these the Patriots hate. You can just address it. They just hating on that. King Ming said Brian Leftwich needs a job, and he said they asked Ryan Clark, like Stephen A. Smith said. And we'll get to that in a moment. Matter of fact, let's get to it now. And then we go to the other jobs. They were talking about Stephen A. Smith. So and basically, he said Ayuk talking about. He said they're talking about Ayuk again. Ain't nobody worried. Ayuk won't be a 49er, so ain't nobody really worried about that guy. He better hope he can still play football when he gets the chance. So people have been ridiculing Stephen A. Smith for saying that Ryan Clark potentially should be a head coaching candidate for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why is it that this is so egregious to say that Ryan Clark could be a head coach, but y'all was really entertaining Phillip Rivers as being the head coach of the Buffalo Bills? Or Jeff Saturday came off of a high school team and was a center, and he goes on to be the head coach of Indianapolis Colts, but nobody seemed to be upset about that. But you're mad because Stephen A. Smith suggested that Ryan Clark could be the head coach or be a head coach? Talk to me, so.
Oh, he can probably definitely be a head coach in the league. It's all about your coordinators and being a good leader I'm not saying anybody can be a head coach, but I can see Ryan Clark being a good head coach. But I'm thinking Stephen A. Smith saying this shit for clickbait, bro. He's saying that they're on the show together. It's not like he said it while he wasn't there. You're going to get a reaction out of him. Then they start talking about it. I don't know if he really meant that. But, yeah, like you said, Joe, there's other guys that got their head coaching job that didn't deserve it. Like you said, Jeff Saturday and Phillip Rivers. If he wouldn't taken them, he might have got that damn job. So, who knows?
They didn't make a decision on that head coaching job until he took his name out. It's crazy. Donald, what do you think about that? You know, Stephen A. Smith saying that Ryan Clark could potentially be a head coach, and everybody is talking about fire Ryan Clark and fire Stephen A. Smith because of that, talking about how egregious that statement is. Why is that egregious? But it wasn't egregious for Phillip Rivers, who just stopped playing football. Why is it not egregious for him?
Okay, so here, this where I'm at with it. My biggest problem is that I think, like kind of what Soul said, but I'm gonna say a little more on it. That Stephen A. Smith, he's on the show with him. He's doing it for clickbait, and he has to somewhat try to save face and act like he promotes black stuff in the world.
I was gonna say that, but
that's what I don't think he needs to be like that. I think that Phillip Rivers, Jeff Saturday, JJ Redick, Ryan Clark, it's all agreed to say they should be the head coach just because it's all equal. I remember talking about Jeff. I remember some of the players when they got Jeff Saturday, like, man, what are we doing here? So I do think it's all terrible, and I just don't think it's right to. I don't fire him. I mean, he make bad takes all the time, and you know what he has to say because he can't push certain people away. But what I do think is, I never thought I would. What's the big dude name? The big black, he say all the crazy stuff. Kendrick
Perkins or Wiley.
No.
Spears?
Lineman. He talking
Spears?
about the offensive lineman.
What's his name?
Marcus Spears?
He always talk about black and white stuff.
Oh, you talking about Jason Whitlock?
Jason Whitlock. I never thought I would agree with some of the stuff he say, but I'm telling you, this racial stuff is killing sports. And some people that feel like we gotta force it in and they make every single thing racial, and therefore it's killing sport. Like these last couple hires, I don't know how many black coaches have been hired yet.
None.
But if it's none, well, you better believe
Robert Saleh.
He ain't no brother.
Well, two out of three of these are probably gonna be black, just because they feel like the narrative is so much. They feel like they gotta hire on that, and then it's like it's just I don't know.
They'll hire a brother in Arizona. He'll get fired halfway through the season.
I just don't like it how everybody is pressing the racial thing, and it's messing up people actually wanting to do their job. Sometimes I might not want a person because he's that color. I might want him because I actually feel like he can do better for my football team than other person. And I think it's too much caught up in that, and it's hurting the sport a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you need to call for Stephen A. Smith's head or Ryan Clark for making that. I don't even think he really meant what he said. But this is the problem that I think I agree 100% with Donald and with you, so. But can we leave race out? Can you fucking coach? Can you play? Now, only time that I bring race into anything that dealing with sports is ownership, because that's egregious that we don't have any ownership in a minority ownership. We got one minority is in Jacksonville. The Jacksonville Jaguars have majority ownership with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Other than that, there's no other black owners or minority owners in sports as the majority. Now, some other owners, we talk about Magic Johnson, and but he's not the majority owner. He can't make any decisions. He can't say he want to sell the team or not. We need motherfuckers that can say they can sell the team. But other than that, we can't complain about having black quarterbacks in the league. We really can't complain about having black coaches in the league, whether it be football or basketball. We can't complain about that. But we seem to always bring that up. Now, certain situations is extremely obvious that we have to talk about it. But that's a very small, minute. Race is a very small, minute situation in sports, except for ownership. Other than ownership, come on, man.
You know what, Jody? But if you brought up to having black owners in the NFL and other sports. Let's say eventually it's going to be a brother that's going to own the NFL team. Hopefully, we're around the city, or maybe it's one of us. Who knows? Then it's going to be added pressure on that brother. How you going to own the NFL team and not hire a black dude? He going to feel like he has to hire a brother. You know what I mean? He going to feel like forced by the black community to hire a brother because he's black. You know what I'm saying?
We feel like you know our color. I think we do that the most. We feel like just because one of us got something, we got to have it. Yeah, and people really feel entitled just because, like, no, I worked for this.
Look at President Obama. If he didn't do anything that portrayed as being on the African American side,
he can't do that.
Ridiculed. Yeah. Like, if it don't make sense, I don't give a fuck what color it is. If it don't make sense, it don't make fucking sense, y'all. Like, stop that shit, man. But anyway, I don't want to dive into that. Like I said, only time I'm gonna ever bring up race in sports. Now, sometimes it's egregious and we got to talk about it because it's so blatant in our face. But 9 times out of 10, it's not. And like I said, the only thing that you won't ever hear me really complain about when it comes to race is going to be until we get ownership in these 4 major sports. You're going to keep hearing me say that.
Who the new owner of the Charlotte Hornets? Y'all know?
It's a group that bought the team away from Michael Jordan. So it was his business partners, but they are Caucasian males.
You get one and he give it back to him.
Yeah,
Jordan made a profit off that shit too.
No, it's business. It's business. I'm just saying, if we want more ownership, if we do get a foot in the door, we gotta try to keep it.
Yeah. Just like Teresa said, she was like, it's like Obama. King Ming said Ryan Clark being a coach have a brother starting only. And then he said he agreed with you, Donald, on that one. Let's get, because I want to get to the NBA. Solo Sports, the next job up is the Raiders' job. They are fired. They've had 3 different head coaches in 3 years. I think they had 4 in the last 7 or some shit like that. Talk to me about this job right here.
Another team that has bad ownership. They don't seem like they know what they're doing. I don't know how much power Tom Brady has on this situation. I know he's part owner, I don't know what title he actually has. But this is not a very good job either. And it's in a tough division. They're starting over again with a quarterback. I don't know who wants this job. I don't know who's actually interviewed for this job. You heard the name, Joe? Oh, I heard. No, we'll get to that one next. I haven't heard who's actually interviewed for this Raiders job. So, I don't know. They're gonna have to go with some young guy. Maybe the old Washington offensive coordinator would get that Raiders job. He did his thing with JD5 last year when he was a rookie. So maybe they can bring him in there with Mendoza and help him groom him to get him ready for the pros. I don't know.
You talking about Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah.
It's crazy because he's been striking out in the NFL as well. He was a head coach for Arizona, and then he had one good year as offensive coordinator with the Commanders. Then he had a bad year because JD5 got hurt. But they keep retreading him for some odd reason. Like I don't know what is he won again?
Not a damn thing. Even in college, even when he left college, he's at Texas Tech. They loved him there because he played there, but he had a losing record when he left there, and then got an NFL coaching job. How you have a losing record and get anyway? That's another story. We don't want to get back in that. We said we're not going to talk about that.
I get you though.
That low.
Donald, what you think with the Raiders, man? They struck out with Pierce. They struck out with Pete Carroll. Who they had before they had Pierce? I can't remember who they had.
Oh, the guy from the Patriots, the offensive coordinator.
McDaniels?
Yeah, McDaniels.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh. That's crazy work, man. Donald, talk to me. Who wants that Raiders job?
What is Brady and Belichick's relationship at this point?
Ooh, don't do that, Donald.
I don't think they get along. I don't think they get along right now.
Bring them in. They're in the perfect city for cheating, and they can run it back. And they can. Hey, we got to make this work and run it back. We both can groom in. Wrong pause. But Brady, you work with Mendoza. Belichick, you work with the defense, and we'll see what we can do.
I'm gonna say this Raider job is not this is probably the worst job to get because you could be fired. You don't have a lot of talent out there. But I know they got the first round pick. Like I said, at first I was thinking about Lincoln Riley, just bring him over. He's a quarterback guru. Let him get his first opportunity to be a head coach with a team that's probably gonna fire him in a year or two anyway, and he can go back to college because he ain't doing shit at USC because he ain't getting it done there either. But I remember I told you I think Kurt Cignetti name should be mentioned. And just I know they pay it. I know he just signed a hell of a deal with the Indiana Hoosiers, but if he does anything but win the national championship with the Hoosiers, it's going to be a disappointment at this point because he had so much success when he got there. Why don't you get out of there, have the university get bought out by the Raiders? They got enough money. Davis got enough money to buy him out and bring him over there and then get your quarterback and see what he can do. He said Google him. All he does is win. So maybe try to lure Cignetti over to the Raiders and also get the number one pick in Mendoza and let that train keep going. That's what I thought about.
Indiana ain't never won nothing. Do you think they could be one of them schools where you won that one championship and you are the man like forever?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be that. I think that, and that may just be comfortable. Like after he signed with an 8-year deal, he can get another one after that. Now he might want to be just comfortable with that because you can leave, and if that grass ain't as greener, now you got to go take another job somewhere else. But I do like calling though. I like the ideal of you calling. It's just when you make them decisions like that, I think you got to make sure it's a home run because it can get ugly for you.
But the thing about it, the Raiders are going to pay his salary, so he's going to get that money. Raiders will pay the salary, then have him come in, and he'll make a nice salary. If he doesn't succeed, it ain't like Kurt Cignetti, a young guy. He's not the youngest guy.
Back.
I mean,
or he can go back. He can fail at the Raiders. They don't mind firing you next year. He can fail at the Raiders, and then maybe Alabama having a bad season, and he walk back into that job.
Or shit, he can go back to James Madison. Teresa said I was in Richmond, Virginia at the airport when Obama landed at the airport. Same name across the street. Jay Kane said they said Pete Carroll had too many doctor's appointments to be a coach because he was 76 years old. That's crazy. But last but not least, Donald, the Raiders. I mean, not the Raiders, but the Arizona Cardinals. Man, what is that? What do they do? That's the coach.
Coach Glenn. No, I think they need to bring in the Cardinals. The Cardinals. First of all, who's going to be the quarterback?
We don't know. Right now, Kyler Murray is a starter projectedly, but I think somebody gonna make a move. Maybe the Jets or maybe the Steelers gonna make a move for Kyler Murray.
So that being said, they got somebody with the quarterback. You brought up Lincoln Riley. I like Matt Patricia trying his luck. Like you said, I like anybody who's already won at a level to just try something. Go try something else. Because like you said, after you win one, it's hard to the expectations is tough, and it's hard to win multiple championships. I don't care where you play.
True.
So
So what do
I
you
would
think?
bring in like I would get like Matt Patricia, Lincoln Riley, Eric Bieniemy. But matter of fact, Eric Bieniemy, that might be a job he get because there's a brother out there, and we know we gonna fire you.
He just took the offensive coordinator job back with Kansas City.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, he took the job.
Yeah, he took the job. So what do you think?
Maybe Matt Nagy. Apparently, they interviewed Ron Rivera, the old Commanders coach.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know what Arizona's trying to do. I don't know which direction they're going. They're in the toughest division in football. I mean, everybody in the division is kicking ass except for them. So I don't know. I don't know if they want to go young guy and just rebuild this thing slowly. I will blow the fucking team up and start over again. And hopefully get good when those other teams start getting bad. That will be my game plan. Okay, all my high-priced players on the team, we're going to trade all you motherfuckers. We're going to get a bunch of draft picks. We're going to start over, and we're going to slowly build this thing back up. So when the Rams and Seahawks and all those players start getting old, we're trending upward, and hopefully we can win that way. Because Cardinals, that like you said, Joe, this is the worst job in the league, and I don't know who takes it. I'll take it if they call me.
He was talking about Flores. Flores had taken the job, the defensive coordinator. He back with Minnesota. They signed him back, so he's not.
He can still take a head coaching job if he wanted.
He can, but I think he took that defensive coordinator position. They gave him a raise, so I don't think he's going to leave. Because if he was, he would already have gotten hired already. I still say because the Rams are looking for they're going to need a new quarterback very soon because Matthew Stafford may play next year, but I know next year if he does play next year, it's going to be probably his last year. So they're going to need a quarterback there with the Rams. So they might get lucky, and like I said, they'll be on a down. They'll be going up. I'm still going to stay on this Carson Palmer train. I like Carson Palmer cutting his teeth with the Arizona Cardinals where he was the quarterback. He's doing wonders with quarterbacks outside of football. Him and his brother Jordan Palmer, they're doing their quarterback camps. Carson Palmer, he's a good football mind. Somebody got to start somewhere, and if you don't go after him, because I heard that Frank Wright may be a coordinator, I believe, I think the Dolphins have called him in as a coordinator, Frank Wright.
I think he got hired already, Joe. I'm gonna look that up. I think he got hired by somebody.
Somebody hired him? I thought
I'm gonna look that up. I'll let you know.
But if not, I'll bring Frank Wright down there too. I think Frank Wright needs one more opportunity. I know he got a raw deal with Carolina. They got rid of him, and he was only like 4 or 5 games into the season. King Mink said, what about Al Bundy? Hey, them 4 touchdowns, man. Them 4 touchdowns for Al Bundy, man, definitely. But yeah, man, you got to think somewhere, man. Like, goddamn, Buffalo was the last team. Buffalo and Pittsburgh and the Ravens were the last 3 teams to announce their coaching positions, and they all have coaches now.
Apparently Frank Wright might be going to the Jets as their
coordinator, though. As a coordinator,
yeah, offense coordinator. Yeah.
Where they say where there's they have a demand for a coach, where there's a demand, there has to be a demand. Somebody got to want.
You have to give this job to a guy that don't care about getting fired, that probably don't deserve the job. And I sent them my resume. I haven't heard back yet though. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I need a coaching staff. I'm gonna need you guys. I'm gonna pay you guys a shitload of money. And we're gonna do things our way, baby. We ain't gonna even draft no punter. We're gonna go for it on 4th down every single play. We just go.
No, the fuck we not. We gonna play football.
I'm
gonna be on that offensive side of the ball. We gonna run.
Dan Campbell do it.
Hold on, real quick. Eagles Philly said, "What y'all think about Tracy Morgan's situation? Apparently, the guy that used to bully Tracy Morgan is homeless, and the homeless guy, Tracy Morgan, to give him some money. I wouldn't have gave him shit. You used to bully me, right? And God don't like ugly. I don't even know about. I have to look into that. I
saw it, Joe. Apparently, Tracy Morgan was at some event. You know, he's super famous, rich, and the guy that used to bully him was there, just in the crowd. And Tracy Morgan, yeah, I remember you. Blah blah blah. The dude was asking for money. Tracy Morgan told him fuck off, right? And the dude was like, "Well, I'm homeless." Tracy Morgan said, "What the fuck they got to do with me? I didn't make you homeless."
You should have been trying to be cool with me, nigga. Real quick, man. Jay Kane said, does quarterbacks make good head coaches? Donald, what do you think?
I mean, the hardballs. I think the hardball. I mean, cheating. If cheating counts, hey, Harbaugh a great coach. Harbaugh can coach some football.
Harbaugh. Who else played? Frank Wright played quarterback. Gary Kubiak was a head coach.
What I don't believe is in no sport. Well, Larry Bird was pretty good. They did all right. But I don't think great players make great coaches.
Isaiah did pretty good.
Because I think when I think they expect the people that they're telling to do something to be able to do things that they can do, not understand the things that you can do are superhuman, and you don't have a patience for certain people to do it.
I agree with Donald because I think that Peyton Manning will be a terrible head coach.
I don't.
I think he would ask for too much. I don't think it will work. I don't see it. It'd be like Magic Johnson when he tried to be a head coach. I don't think it will work.
I don't know, but let's real quick, man. We're gonna get to the college basketball. We got a major game. I don't know if it's tipped already. I think it has, between number 5 Nebraska, undefeated, 20-0, going into Ann Arbor against number 3 Michigan at 18-1. Don't look at the score because I think they already tipped. Who you got sold on this one?
I'm gonna go Nebraska to keep it going. I'm gonna go Nebraska.
Okay, Donald, who you got in this one?
I like Michigan at home. I would take Nebraska if they was at home. That home court means so much in college basketball. I'm gonna take Michigan at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because Nebraska don't want to try to be undefeated because they go going into the tournament. You want to get a loss. I think you need to get a loss. If you do, it ain't a bad loss to lose, like you said, at home. I mean, on the road against Michigan. Michigan's a very good and talented team. I think Michigan gives Nebraska their first loss. Let's stay in the Big Ten, guys. Donald, number 12 Purdue off a tough loss. They playing against Indiana. Wagler had to go for 46 for them to lose, being Purdue. Indiana is on the bubble, and they need to get a big time victory to get off that bubble. Who do you like in this matchup, Donald?
Indiana. I mean, Purdue didn't look so solid. Indiana, tough place to play. I'm gonna take Indiana with the upset. Back to back.
Indiana. Okay.
Purdue back to back losses. I'm gonna take Indiana.
Jace Kane said upset alert. Richard Norvell said he picked Michigan in that game. So who you got in this matchup right here?
I'm gonna go Boilermakers to bounce back after a loss. I'm gonna go Boilermakers.
I'm gonna go Boilermaker too. I think they're angry. I think that when that kid had 46, Keaton Wagler for Illinois, he needed every one of those points. Indiana, they're turned to a football school.
Yeah,
because you got to think about it. Indiana has not won a national championship since 1987. Isn't that starting to be overrated? Kind of like Notre Dame. Both of them, Notre Dame won in 88 and they won in 87. Notre Dame won in football. Indiana won in 87 in basketball. Can we start saying these schools are a little bit overrated if haven't won it that long?
They just keep their lore. They just keep that. They just keep that tradition going, and they just live off of it forever.
The ghost of Bobby Knight. They haven't been the same since Bobby Knight left. Jay Kane said he got Purdue. Eagles Philly said that Arizona BYU game last night was lit. It was, but it wasn't as lit. It got lit towards the end because Arizona was up and beating their ass, and then
they almost fucked that game up.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was watching it, but it's like it was a lot of stars. I don't think Dubansky played that relatively well. He missed a lot of free throws in that game because at one point in time he was the only one that went to the fucking free throw line on BYU's team. But he ended up with like 24 in that game, but it just wasn't enough. But it was pretty good game to watch. So Jay Kane put that out there for the stars. Teresa gave some stars. Appreciate you, Teresa, for giving us stars. Donald, we got Kentucky going against Vanderbilt. They 17-3. Kentucky really needs a victory to keep pace. They just got a couple good wins, but they need a win right here to keep pace in the SEC. Man, who you got?
That's what I was gonna say. I like Kentucky on the road. I like Kentucky tonight.
Okay, so who you got?
I'm gonna go Commodores. They beat them in football. They beat them in basketball too. I'm gonna go Commodores. I'm
gonna have to go with Kentucky because the Commodores, I believe, are 2-3 in the last 5 games. Because they started the season off at 15-0, and I think that Kentucky, man, they starting around in the form. They getting some guys that was on IR. They starting to get those guys back that didn't start the season. So I like Kentucky in this one. It's gonna be tough to win in Vandy, that crowd is like it's gonna go crazy. So it's gonna be loud in that arena. But I like Kentucky to try to keep pace in the SEC. Jay Kane said he got the Kentucky Wildcats in this matchup. So we don't normally talk about UMass. We have not talked about UMass since Marcus Canby was on that team. But UMass at 13-8, they're going against our right here in Ohio, Miami of Ohio. They're 20-0, one of the only 3 teams in the country that's undefeated. Nebraska being one, Arizona being another, and Miami of Ohio. Who do you have in this game, so?
Miami, Ohio. They're 20-0. They're ranked. UMass coming there with already 8 losses. I'm gonna go Miami, Ohio, and get the victory at home.
Okay. Richard Norvell said he going with Vanderbilt in that last game. Donald, who you got in this one? UMass at 13-8 or Miami of Ohio 20-0?
Miami. I know a kid that plays with Miami right now, so I've been kind of extra paying attention to him. They really playing some ball. Shout out to Ian Elmer, to Cincinnati, but they I'm gonna take Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Miami of Ohio. I think Miami of Ohio wins this game. I think they won't lose a game until their tournament time. And the reason why I think it'll be because I think they still get like if they remain the way they're playing down, I think they get a 5 or a 4 seed going into the tournament. And this is a team that I don't think no team is going to want to face, man, because they got a lot of senior leadership on that team. And they don't have a lot of transfers like these other schools. So these guys really been together for 2-3 years. And I think Miami, because, if you look at all these other veteran teams, Donald, they got a lot of like Kansas got a lot of transfers in. Well, they've been in school for 4 years, but they've been transferred in. Miami of Ohio got guys that came in together and they're playing good ball, veteran-led team. I like Miami to remain undefeated. My man Eagles Philly said, good show today. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe, stay blessed. You stay safe out there, man, because Philly, I hope y'all getting y'all streets and everything back to normal, man. So, hey, appreciate you, big dog, man. Eagles Philly in the building, man. Soul on Sports.
Yes, sir.
Missouri, 14-6. All Alabama's been struggling. They're still ranked. Like 13. I think Alabama has one of the toughest schedules in the country thus far. Mm-hmm. Who you like in this game? Alabama's at home.
I'm gonna go Mizzou to go on the road and get a victory against a ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm gonna go Mizzou for the dub.
Okay, Donald, who you got in this matchup?
I'm gonna go with Alabama. They got the big boy. They got a big boy back from the league. He actually played all right the other day, which is crazy. How do you come back from the NBA? But I think Alabama should win the ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Alabama because they got the best player on the court, or the best 2 players on the court, and we talking about LeBaron Philon Jr. is a guy that's going to be a lottery pick in the NBA draft, and then Holloway. If Holloway get going, it's hard for that. That's one of the top combos in the country. I say they're a top 10 combo in the country. And then that kid that just got back who was gone for 3. When he gone for 3 years, how the fuck are you gone for 3 years? That's another story. But big shout out to assistant coach for the Missouri Tigers right here from Dayton, Ohio, Steve Wright. My guy, he was at Colonel White. I was a senior when he was a freshman. This guy was a phenomenal player here. So he was a young guy, but this guy can score the ball. Steve Wright is a legend in the Dayton area. Now he's an assistant coach with Missouri. He was with Cleveland State. Mm-hmm. He's working. I'm gonna tell you right now, Steve Wright will be a head coach in the next 2 years. Steve Wright will be a head coach in 2 years. I guarantee that. But big shout out to my man Steve Wright in the building. Jay Kane said. He said, what school should Bryce James transfer to? Real quick, Donald, what you think? Where should Bryce James transfer to?
Sinclair, Clark State. I think Arizona got a good chance to win the championship. You know what I honestly think gonna happen? I think they're gonna win the championship. He's gonna declare for the draft. He's not gonna get drafted. He's gonna go be a streamer or something.
Okay. So where do you think he should go?
Whatever the G League team for the Lakers is, he can be close to his family. I don't know what the name of that team is, but yeah, I don't know, man. I feel bad for these guys. They can't just be regular people, in this world. You pick the same sport as your super famous daddy, one of the best players ever, and now you're trying to play the same sport, and if you don't live up to that, it's never good enough. He can go out there and score 20 points a game. Your daddy will score 25. It's just never good enough. I think he should pick a different sport.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he stays at Arizona because I think 2 of those guys are gonna go pro. Braden Burris, he's gonna go pro, and Peak is gonna go pro. So he'll have enough playing time.
Shit, I don't know. Maybe another freshman come in and take his spot.
I think if I'm him, I stick around. I think I'll try because I don't know anywhere he goes, he's not gonna get no playing time. If he go to any of the other schools, he's not gonna get no playing time there. So you might as well.
So you're saying he's not that good?
I don't know yet. I think he was better than Bronny. A lot of people say he was better than Bronny. What'd you think, Donald? You shaking your head.
No, I don't think he's better than Bronny, and that ain't saying a whole bunch. I mean, I think both of them are like Division II basketball players.
Hey, why did King Mee say Bryce better go to a D3 school or a slam ball league? And then
slam ball.
He's not a deal. What's a slam? I didn't know what a slam ball, but we're keeping it moving, guys. With this one, the next game, Solo on Sports, we got the last college game. We got. I think they already tipped as well. Number 17, Virginia, tough loss at home to North Carolina. They had that game in the bag. They lose the game late. Caleb Wilson with the shot that actually iced the game. DeRitter had 20 and 8. They got a freshman there too named DeRitter.
Yeah,
kid is nice. 17th in the country. Now they playing against Notre Dame. They got a nice freshman over there. What's his name, Donald? Harlison?
Notre Dame Harless. I think it's Harless.
Yeah, he's pretty good freshman over there. He averages about 14 points a game. So who you got in this matchup?
I'm going to go Virginia Cavaliers to bounce back, get a win today.
You like Virginia? Okay.
Yeah.
Donald, who you like in that one?
I'm going to roll with I like Virginia also.
Yeah, I think Virginia need a bounce back game because really, if you look at Virginia, they only got 3 losses.
Yeah,
like we act like Virginia is like a bad team. And they gave North Carolina all they were looking for in that game. And honestly, when I watched that game, they should have beat them. But they missed a lot of key free throws down the stretch. I think they'll make that up. Notre Dame is not that great of a team. When the last time Notre Dame been good in basketball, don't? Fonzo Ellis.
I was gonna say that too.
The girls be good. The girls be good, but
the girls good every year.
I can't even remember the last time Notre Dame has made some noise in college. Then they had Grant when they had the little brother Grant, the guard. When they
one of the Grant. Yeah, they had him, but they wasn't no good.
That's crazy work. Okay, all right. Before we get to the NBA, real quick, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see my top 10. Y'all talked to number 1. I got AJ Dubansky at 2. I got Caleb Wilson from North Carolina at 3. I got Darren Peterson, and only why I got him at 3 and not number 1, I think his health comes into play.
Yeah,
I think it's like he says he's hurt. He said I know Donald said he got a requirement of 20 minutes, but I think it's still he got some injuries there. 4, I got Darius Acup Jr. out of Arkansas. 5, I got Cam Boozer. I think Cam Boozer is still going to be a solid pro. I think he's going to help whatever team he goes to. 6, I got Kingston Flemings out of Houston. You know how good he is. Your son, Little Chris, know him personally.
Yeah.
Number 7, I got Braylon Mullins. This kid is one of the sharpshooters. He reminds me a lot of Cole Knippel that played for Duke last year. I think he has that kind of range, getting to the league. And, you know, the league, you can never have too many shooters in the NBA.
That's true.
At 8, I got Keenan Wagler. This is a kid that went off for 46 points in a key game against Purdue, beating the ranked number 4 team in the country at the time. At 9, I got Peak. Peak is a big body. We know what he can score because first game of the season he had 30 points, but I think he's a guy that'll be a top 10 pick. And then last but not least, I got Nate Ament out of Tennessee. He had 29 points, I believe, against Alabama. That was when the Donald he had 29 against Alabama at home. What do you think about that? And did I miss anybody in the top 10? So
no, you got it. I think you got Cam Boozer a little low, but
where do you think he could go?
I still think he's a top 2 or 3 pick. But you know, it's a lot of basketball between now and the season. You know, you can have a great tournament and boost your rating. So we'll see. But I like it, but I think Cam should be a little bit higher.
Okay, Donald. So you think he should be over Caleb Wilson?
Yeah, I think he's a top 3 pick in the draft.
Okay. All right, Donald, what you think?
Yeah, the order. The thing is, honestly, with that order you had, it's whoever I seen play last. Because you'll watch one night, you're like, oh, he might be number 1. You watch another one next night, like, oh, he's number 1. You watch, like you said, like Soul said, Boozer. As far as potential-wise, I don't see him being as good as them guys, but I see productivity now. I just see him being solid. So it's, like you said, you couldn't go wrong. I think you got the top 10 right. Now, the order, and it depends on who needs what at the time, too.
Donald, it doesn't matter. It all depends on who the Spurs want at number 1. Because we all know the NBA is going to make sure they have a top 2 pick. Even when they have a decent team, they find a way to get a top 2 pick. And I guarantee you the Spurs going to be up there again.
I'm tired of your shit, so I ain't tired of your shit. The only person that I think a couple guys like I think LeBaron Fryline can probably sneak into that top 10, maybe depending on how his tournament because he's only a sophomore, and then the kid Braden Burris out of Arizona who had a huge game, 29 points last night. That's another guy that can sneak in there and probably take one of those guys out. I didn't put him in there because I think that Amit is a guy that he's 6'7", 6'8", and remember he's not really getting a lot. He's just now coming into his own in Tennessee. Yeah. But those are a couple guys that can sneak up into the draft and be ahead of those guys. So real quick, King Mink said, Jody, will Peterson play again this season? Absolutely, he'll play. He's going to play limited minutes though. He's a kid that we know when he scores so fucking easy. When it's like this dude scores like he's slicing like he a hot knife through butter. He just can't stay on the court. So
I think what's just crazy. I think he's gonna play on Tuesday. I think he's gonna play. And I think that's why he set the leg. I think he's gonna play because they play against each other. I think it's Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it is Tuesday. So I can't wait.
BYU and Kansas. So I think he's actually gonna play.
He already doing load management. He ain't in the league yet. He already
doing load management.
So this is the last thing. We're going to go NBA game of the night, and this is a mega matchup in the NBA. We got the team, the Detroit Pistons, with the best record in the Eastern Conference, 33-11. The Denver Nuggets have surprisingly hung on without the Joker in the lineup the last couple of weeks, and they're still 31-15. So this is a major game out there in Mile High City. Who wins this one, so?
I'm gonna go Pistons. I think Pistons are healthy. I think they got all their players back. They've had players miss the last couple games in there. I think they go on the road and get them a big victory, possibly a finals matchup. Possibly.
Yeah. Good stuff. Donald, who you got in this matchup?
I picked the Nuggets to go to the finals once they're back healthy. But tonight, I think the Pistons get them just because you can beat a lot of teams without Joker, but you need your top dog to beat certain teams. I think the Pistons well-rounded. The Pistons get a win tonight.
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with the Nuggets because I think Jamal Murray is playing at an elite level. This guy's averaging over 25 points a game. He has yet to make an All-Star game. I think this year he breaks that streak and finally gets into the All-Star game. I think he deserves an All-Star mention because of what he's done with the Joker being on the sideline. I like Caden Cunningham, but Caden Cunningham is an MVP candidate. He got him playing great in the Eastern Conference, but I don't think he's going to – none of the teams in the Eastern Conference can stack up to any of the teams in the Western Conference. I'm going to keep it real. The top 5 teams take the Lakers out. I'll say that outside of the Lakers, the top 5 teams in the the top 5 teams in the West will probably be the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not taking anything away from Detroit. Detroit playing good basketball, but in this particular matchup in Mile High City with the Nuggets, Jamal Murray goes off for 40+ tonight, and they beat the Pistons at home. Real quick, Jay Kane said he got the Pistons in this game, but I just think he said they have a few guys that they can throw at Murray. They can throw him at him, but they ain't gonna be able to stop him. We seen when Murray wants to take over a game, he gonna take over a fucking game. He's a bona fide. We saw. Remember when he got hurt, he dropped 50 in a game. So we know this guy can fill it up. We know he can hit 3. We have seen him hit double-digit 3-pointers multiple times in his career. So I think that Murray is going to put the team on his back until the Joker get there. He needs to get these wins to stay pace. They still got an outside chance, Donald. Outside chance of being the number 1 seed because the way the OKC is losing the teams that they definitely shouldn't be losing to. And then the Spurs, they're still young. So they're still trying to understand what winning is all about. So don't sleep on the Denver Nuggets. Is still trying to get that number 1 seed. And these are games that they're going to need to get the number 1 seed. Give me a final thought on this, Donald.
Oh yeah, I think the Nuggets to get to the number 1 seed. I don't know how many games they're behind the Thunder. I think it's going to be tough. I can't see the Thunder losing that many games, although they are dropping some games. It seems like, and at home. So that's different too. But I think that the Nuggets, like I said, I picked the Nuggets and the Sixers to go to the finals. So I'm gonna roll with them.
Hey, Jay Kane said they got to beat them up. Literally, the Pistons like to fight. Yeah, they got beef stew on that goddamn team. So give me your final thought on this matchup tonight, man. This is a marquee matchup. The NBA need to market this game a little bit more though.
I agree with you, Joe. I can see them possibly catching the Thunder. Because the Thunder of late, it ain't easy being champ, bro. I mean, it's easy when you haven't won a championship, and when once you finally reach the mountaintop, you're like, "Whoo, man!" You kind of relax. But everybody else got that killer mode when they show up to play you. Oh, we want to kick the champ's ass, but you got to get used to being a champ, and this is completely new for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it wouldn't shock me if they lost some more games and the Nuggets end up getting that 1 seed. But that might be what Oklahoma City needs in the playoffs to not be the 1 seed.
Yeah, that might be because they've been the number 1 seed the last 2 seasons. It'll be if they go number 1, be the number 1 seed this year. It'll be 3 years in a row. It's rare that any team in the Western Conference repeats 3 times as the number 1 seed having the best record. Because if you got the best record in the Western Conference, they probably have the best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
So they'll have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Normally, the Western Conference team or the teams outside of that Boston Celtic year had the number 1 seed. So good stuff. So I like that. I like that what you just said. Real quick, King Ming said, question for all 3 of you. Can OKC repeat? Round the horns. So can they repeat?
Oh, most definitely. They got the talent, championship pedigree already. They won last year. They could definitely repeat.
Jay Kane said that SGA is shooting too much. Donald, what do you think? Can they repeat this year?
No, I think they definitely can. It's not like they fell off and they can't win. Now they're not looking as good. They're not looking as dominant as of late, but they for sure had a team.
Oh yeah,
especially once they get healthy. Because David Williams haven't been playing either for that.
No, he hasn't. He's hurt again, I think.
As much as I think that they can, I just don't think that they will. I think they're a team that's going to be around for the next 10 years because they still got a whole bunch of draft picks. I think right now they had that great start. Remember, I predicted that they was going to break the record, and they were playing fantastic basketball, and then boom, all these players start missing games, and they hadn't had Williams back in the lineup. I think the continuity is there. I think they like each other.
Yeah.
But I think it's so hard to repeat. Ask the Celtics. Remember, the Celtics had a lot of pressure to repeat. I don't think we had a repeat champ since the Golden State Warriors. I just don't see them repeating this year. I see them always being competitive. But like Donald said, the Nuggets, when they get healthy, it's going to be hard to beat those guys. And another team, Minnesota Timberwolves, I think they're going to make a move to get somebody in there. And I think they're not going to have to give up really nothing. And because they're playing fantastic basketball. They've been in the Western Conference back-to-back seasons, the Western Conference Finals. I think that they'll still be there. So
I actually think talent-wise, I think the Spurs have more talent than anybody in the NBA. They got to gel, and they have to learn how to win because they have a problem closing out games. Well, if you go talent for talent, Spurs got a shitload of talent, but I don't think they're ready for a championship yet. And the coach looked like one of the players. He's young as shit. He looks like he's 25.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson. I don't even think he's not even over 32. Is he?
Yeah, he's a young guy.
32,
so I think if they keep these core players together, they're going to be a team to deal with the next couple of years.
Hey, Jay Kane or King Mixon, y'all see how old Mitch Johnson, the head coach of San Antonio? I want to say he's about 32 or 33.
He's a young guy, man. He looks super young.
But yeah, man. Let me see if we got an answer for that real quick while we looking up. He said, and like I said, King Ming said the Spurs will be ready next year. And I'm a Spurs fan. Everybody know I'm a Spurs fan, but it'll be hard pressed because I still don't know who's the go-to guy. Fox is a clutch performer, but on this roster, this is not the Sacramento Kings.
Hey man, how long is Wemby gonna be on minutes restriction?
I think he's been
on minutes restriction damn near the whole season.
To be honest, I think he might be on minutes restriction until we get to the playoffs. And if we get a number 2 or number 1 or number 3, 1 through 3 seed, where it's a team that we should beat, I think that the Spurs are probably having more minutes restriction to the second round of the playoffs. But you don't want to play around with the playoffs because anything can happen. He's 39.
Get tougher. 39.
He's 39.
The Spurs they got the players. They got to get tougher, man. I think they're kind of soft right now, but the talent is there though.
Hey, thank you, King Minks and J.K. Mitch Johnson is 39, the head coach of San Antonio. He's still relatively young.
Yeah.
He's younger than LeBron James and shit.
Yeah.
So, but great show, man. We back tomorrow, guys. We're gonna be talking more about the coaching vacancies in the NFL. We'll talk more about the Super Bowls. Big shout out to Lil Rick, man. I seen his dad out there he making angels on the field.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's a dream come true, man, for my man Rick, man, because like I said, I've been knowing him since kindergarten, bro. We live together, man. Like this ain't somebody I'm just talking about. Like me and Donald know me and Rick was like when Donald was a little kid, I was over their house. Like Donald know. So big shout out to him, little Rick, man. One of the hardest workers I've seen. Not just because I know him, but he went through so much adversity. Moving to Georgia, playing football in Georgia when nobody even knew him. So nobody even know who he was when he moved down there. And they thought he was a basketball player first. They didn't even know he was a football player, right? They thought he was a hooper because his dad's a hooper.
Yeah.
So, man, big shout out to Rick, man. Going to the Super Bowl in his first year, man. Wish him nothing but the best of luck, man, for sure. But we'll be talking about the Super Bowl. We talk more about college basketball, some more big games coming down the road, and there's some good NBA games that we'll be talking about, which will be focused on the game of the night. But Donald, man, give me your final thought, man, as we get out.
My final thought. It's a guy that's on TV, and he was complaining about they don't show us enough no more and all this stuff, right? Like we don't get to work that often. But now it's a coincidence that this year the league moved on to certain networks and they don't show y'all as much, and now the ratings are way better. So this guy comes on TV when he is on there and said we don't work enough, and it's a game on. It's the Hornets and the Wizards or somebody, and the guy says y'all couldn't have had nothing to do if y'all was watching this game. Every time you're on TV, you have something bad to say about the game. They got you off the TV as much, and the ratings are up. That's why you're gone. Old, hating, bashing the game with your overrated self, Charles Barkley. This guy has to go. He cannot be on TV anymore because all you want to do is diminish the game to keep yourself relevant. The game.
You call Chuck overrated?
Yeah, because I was looking at his accomplishments and I was looking at his resume, and there was a few guys. I'm like, okay, he don't stack up that. And I'm not saying he wasn't good. I say he's overrated.
He was great.
No, because I see people say he's the greatest. I've seen people say he's the best. I've seen people say he was the best power forward of all time, or one or two. I don't think he's there.
He's top five. He's top five
easily.
I was just looking at him and KG stuff next to each other, and KG.
That nigga better than KG, bro.
I mean, listen. My thing is, I'm looking at his skill set. KG does a lot of things better than him. He was all defense way more than him. He made all.
He couldn't score like Chuck though.
They average about the same amount of points.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's because the end of Charles Barkley's career, he should have probably retired.
But prime Chuck was a problem, bro.
So KG went and won a championship and was important to the championship. He did. I'm looking at him in the resumes. It ain't looking kind of foggy for Chuck. But and my thing is, I don't want to down talk you, Chuck. But when you go and do things like that, well, sometimes it's best to shut up because now people go look at let me go check who the real you is. And now certain things get exposed. And I'm gonna dig deeper into him, but I'm gonna go watch some more Chuck because I don't want to just say nothing uneducated. I'm just looking at pure resumes. So I don't want to say you was not that good as a player. I'm not gonna say that because I need to study your game more before I make that assessment. But when I'm looking at your resume and what it is, you're not. But this post basketball stuff and how much of a hater you are, it gotta go.
Is he a hater, Donald, or he's just giving his opinion on today's game? Does it mean he's a hater, or he just doesn't agree the way the game is played now? You know what I mean?
You know what? That may be, but if
because people call me a hater, because I think we shoot. I think NBA players shoot too many 3-pointers, and me and my son getting an argument about this shit every single day. My wife said, "Y'all at this again?" Yeah, because I think they shoot too many threes, and I have a problem with that. That's just my opinion.
Let me just say that you're right. He may not be a hater, but if you work for the NBA and your job is to promote the NBA and you're steady down talking it, but when they take you off TV, the ratings go up. I just don't think you need to be around no more.
I mean, that's a fair. We definitely can dive in that tomorrow. That could be something.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
But I will say, Donald, Charles Barkley is definitely a dog. And wait till you see some of his highlights. You seeing him fat on the stage right now.
I seen the highlights, but I like to go back and watch people in a real game because people got some great highlights. But I just don't. The real game tell a lot more. Like far as your coverages, your assignments, where you at. It's more the basketball that I'm diving into.
Don't watch it when he played with the Rockets. When he played,
he actually wasn't that bad.
Philly and Phoenix. That's when he was in his prime.
Yeah. They won a championship in '95. He got there in '96, and they was all of a sudden garbage. Maybe it's him.
Yeah, plus he's stupid.
Damn,
maybe it's him.
It's crazy work. But real quick, man, Jay Kane, the chef, was Rick's personal chef at one point too. So I wanted to throw that in there. But so give me your final thought as we get out of here.
Donald gonna call me hating again, nigga again. Here we go, Donald. Today's NBA, I love these brothers having power. I love that they have the control of what's going on. But this Rich Paul thing seems like it's getting out of hand. He's got all the big players in the league, which is fine. LeBron, Zach LaVine, you name it. He's the agent of these guys. He's trying to strong arm the Dallas Mavericks into trading Anthony Davis. I don't want my client there anymore. I want him traded. Well, nigga, you don't control where I trade the players that's on my roster. He's trying to strong arm it. He's publicly said he wants them to trade him from the Dallas Mavericks. You know he's hurt now. So if we trade him, we're not going to get as much as we would if he's healthy. I mean, I like Rich Paul. I like what he's doing with the NBA, you know, as far as taking control of things. But I think sometimes I think he goes a little bit too far.
I feel it. Okay. I get that. That's some good stuff right there. This is my final thought, and I'm going to stick with right now. We're getting into Senior Bowl week, and we'll get into the combine situation. And the quarterback for LSU was Garrett Nussmeier. Now, when the season started, he went from being top 10 to not mentioned at all. He down there lost his starting job while he was at LSU. We talking about a guy that was supposed to come in and potentially we talking about him being the number one quarterback being selected off of the board. So I think I really believe that Nussmeier is a guy that can get in and be a 4th or 5th round pick and somehow work his way like a Sam Darnold, maybe bounce around and then find a home. Maybe he can go to a team and maybe go to the LA Rams and be the successor down there for Matthew Stafford, or maybe go to Arizona and play behind whoever's the quarterback there and maybe get the opportunity. But this is what I'm saying to all you young guys that want to transfer different schools. Y'all not liking that. Y'all at some point in time, you're gonna have to face the music. You're gonna have to go to this university, you're gonna have to beat that guy out. You gotta prove that you want to play at the next level. Having NIL money is fantastic. But that NIL money is not going to be the successing amount of money that you need to move forward as an NFL contract, because they have, after the 5th year, you get insurance. You got all kind of different variables that you don't get from an NIL, because I don't think NIL gives you insurance when you have kids and you start having concussions or you having injuries that you need medical attention for. So I know the NIL money is good. I don't know who was y'all advisors. Get out here and compete. Stop when the wind don't blow right. I'm going to another school.
Yeah.
Look at Ty Simpson, how this is benefiting Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson was at the school behind Jalen Milroe, and I believe he was the quarterback behind whoever was the quarterback before Jalen Milroe, Bryce Young. And now he's going to possibly be the second quarterback selected in this NFL draft because he stayed put at the Alabama Crimson Tide. At some point, guys, especially at the quarterback position or any other position, you're going to have to face the music and be better than that guy that's on that depth chart at some point. That's my final thought.
Great final point. I like that, Joey.
This shit is getting out of hand, man.
It is, bro.
You got to compete, guys. At some point, you got to compete.
It's so far out of hand. I'm scared because I don't know how. I think if the floodgates is open so much, I don't know how they stop the flood.
You can stop the flood because, as you can see, look, Donald, look at I'm a Believer that's out at UCLA. Look how that's going for him.
Yeah.
He stayed at Tennessee. He just at Tennessee alone with Josh Heupel at the head coach. He would have got drafted. Now he may not get drafted at you. I can see him transferring again.
Yeah.
I think he is. I'm surprised he didn't go this year.
They just announced, the Big Ten just announced their schedule.
He got hurt though.
No, but I know he got hurt, but
yeah,
he's staying put at UCLA, and UCLA don't know what they're doing at the head coach position. They don't got the talent. How are you right there in LA in Southern California and you can't get talent there? I don't understand.
UCLA never had really good football teams though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So how you in Southern California? You can't say the university is beautiful. I went out there in Westwood. It's beautiful. The women are beautiful. It's some nice women.
I can imagine. I've been to LA. I know what it's like.
It's warm weather. It's warm weather.
Yeah.
USC can't take everybody. Shit. Come on, man. Donald, I know you about to say something.
No, I was agreeing. I was just thinking about UCLA because I've been to a game at USC and I've been to the campus at UCLA. And yeah, it's like you go from one side, you go from USC in the southern part of the city, and you go to the northern part of the city. It's like you go from the worst part of America to the best part of America in about 30 minutes.
But Westwood UCLA campus is beautiful. So I went out there. I was out there when I went to the Super Bowl when the Rams played the Bengals. I was out there, and I just wanted to do a tour of the city. And I went to. It's a bus that literally goes from where we were at inside of the university, and I got out the bus. They got it. I mean, it looked like it was. I mean, it was decked out. I'm talking about places to eat. I mean, it just looked fantastic. And then I went to USC. Like, hold on, nigga, I'm out of this motherfucker. Like, you about to get capped at USC, bro?
It's really smack. They call it University of South Central. It's really smack. It's really smack dead in the middle of South Central in the hood.
Do you remember on Boys in the Hood? That was real shit.
Yeah,
real life.
No, that's real shit.
We was riding around one day because I like to sightsee when I go out of town too. So we riding around late night, and the cop pulled us over. He said, "We can tell by your license plates or your rental car and your direction. I can tell you not. We're going to look at the stadium down there and stuff." He said, "I'm gonna tell you this: just go wherever you're staying at and come back out tomorrow. These not the parts you want to be in, and in the middle of the night, you're not from here."
Yeah. I got one more story before we go. So when I interviewed for Fox Sports, I was out. We went out to LA. So me and my at the time my lady friend, we went out there. We go, and we like, hold on. We get out of the LAX. Is in Inglewood, South Central LA. So we get out of LAX. So we go into the hotel. We like, hold on, where the fuck is our hotel at, bruh? We had have you seen next Friday after next? That's how our hotel look. I said, whoa. I am not staying in this motherfucker. We had to call the whole, like, this is not what we ordered. We had they transferred us up to another hotel that was in a better part, because it's like if the more south you go through Watts, you go through Compton, you go through Long Beach. If you go north, it's the better part. You start going to Santa Monica, all that shit. That's
Westwood, Bel Air.
Yeah, that Santa Clara. That's where that Santa Clara is in. I'm sorry, that's in San Francisco. But anyway, if you Orange County and shit like that. But I went that way, and it was so we go to the hotel, and I go to the store. I'm like, let me get some snacks for the hotel room. So we go across the street. So this lowrider comes, this Mexican, this lowrider. I'm like, oh, he get out, tattoos on his neck, one button at the top. So my lady friend, I pushed her behind me, like, hey, just hold on. So I'm like, it's about to be some shit. This nigga was the nicest one. He like, hey, you guys are in line. I said, this nigga is speaking proper English and shit. I was like, ooh.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. And don't judge a book by its cover.
Do not listen.
You just never know, man.
Bro, I exhale like, because he going to call his essays up here. We about to get fucked up. But yeah, man, King Ming said Rich Paul is a real one. Adam Silver to report. He said Adam Silver, real boss, and LeBron and Rich Paul. He said great thought. And final thought, everyone be safe and stay warm. Great show tonight. Appreciate you, King Minx. And then Jay Kane himself said USC was the best. Hey, trust me, that shit crazy. I would never fuck with USC. I don't know. That would be my first choice.
One last thing. So when you was talking about the Rich Paul stuff, you know what I honestly think is about to happen?
What's that?
I think that Rich Paul and LeBron is about to fall out real bad.
You think so?
And I think it's already happening. First of all, he wouldn't be doing the stuff he did without. First of all, I don't think LeBron is agreeing with the stuff he's doing. LeBron's more of a sneaky behind the scenes to try to control the narrative. Rich Paul is putting it just out there, and I don't think LeBron agrees with that. So therefore, I really think that like this movie is always a little man that's the conscience. But now LeBron is not LeBron no more. In all shape, he's losing power in the league. He's not as as powerful. He's not the same person he was no more.
LeBron knew AD was getting traded. Didn't say shit. Of course, he can't say that, but he knew that.
LeBron knew AD was getting traded. LeBron, and the thing about Rich Paul, LeBron also deboed Rich Paul, Anthony Davis to be there in LA the first time. That's why these Laker fans, when they say LeBron didn't save the organization, he clearly saved her. He came back, first of all. He made sure Anthony Davis got there. Anthony Davis turned into Luka Doncic. He's the whole reason that y'all are anybody. But I think they have a big fallout, and now Rich Paul gotta get himself out there because he gotta make himself still be powerful because LeBron's about to walk out the league. His main chip is walking out the league. So he's positioning himself back on the board amongst himself. I think they're going to fall out.
Unless LeBron get the Vegas team. If LeBron get ownership in the Vegas team, I think they'll be just fine. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, that's a good topic, Don. We can talk about that as well. I'm Jody Coleman, the host of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. Man, we joined with my nephew, Donald, the voice of the youth in the building. We got Soul on Sports, Jarrell, Soul on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. We got Ray, Morning Barber Lindsay, in his absence. Michael, the People Simp, that was on here momentarily. He is at the University of Dayton game. We got Andrew mic'd up. Jason, the hefty lefty. He'll be back on the show very, very soon. Pretty much after the basketball season's over. And then we can't do none of this without JK and the chef cooking it up in the kitchen, man. Hey, so what we doing until tomorrow, man?
We working, baby.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.